Under the intense, biting cold and heavy falling snow in Foxborough, the New England Patriots and Houston Texans faced off in a high-stakes playoff duel that was ultimately marked by unpredictable chaos, critical mistakes, and incredible defensive strength. With fans and analysts across the nation already eagerly anticipating the winner for the AFC final, the intense, high-stakes, all-or-nothing atmosphere completely took over the game from the very first snap, featuring a chaotic series of turnovers, pivotal, game-changing plays, and talented young quarterbacks being put to the ultimate test in this championship environment. The New England Patriots successfully turned the bitterly cold and hostile winter weather conditions into a distinct and powerful competitive advantage, and clearly showed that their elite defense could effectively decide the outcome of high-stakes games in the month of January.
In the AFC, Denver's waiting for the winner of Houston and New England in that conference title game. Teddy Bruschi told Drake Maye on Sunday Countdown, "The cold is our superpower. When it snows, we don't lose." First quarter, no score. Pats, 4th and 1 plus territory. Maye throws a dart to Pop Douglas. Much of Foxborough well hydrated at this point, and they are ecstatic in 7-0 to the home team. Minute left in the first, it's 7-3. Maye, ball security was a concern. Coming in, it gets punched out. Azeez Al-Shire falls on the ball for the Texans at the plus 27. Great field position. An ensuing drive into the second quarter. Texans went 6 plays. Stroud to Christian Kirk. Terrific adjustment. I'm standing about 7 feet away. Stroud's lone touchdown pass made it 10-7. Like the Shaq meme hiding behind a tree. 2 minutes later, Stroud hit as he throws, picked off by Marcus Jones. Lethal in the return game. Normally that's kickoffs and punts. Turns out interceptions as well. 26-yard pick six. First for the Pats since Asante Samuel back in the 2006 AFC title game. Pats up 14-10. Next Houston drive was also an interception. 3 minutes left in the half. Check out the hands. Stephon Diggs pulls this in. That's why they brought him to New England. That veteran presence and clutch in the playoffs here. It's 21-10. Houston trying to chisel away before the half. They're at midfield. Stroud's looking for Xavier Hutchinson, but gets picked again. Carlton Davis. Great footwork by him. Davis had no interceptions coming in. He had 2 in this game. Stroud, 4 interceptions in the first half. Nobody since the merger has had more in the first half. Texans down 21-10, but it's still a game in the third, 21-13. And Will Anderson, another loose ball. Maye had 4 fumbles on the day, lost 2 of them. Al-Shire's second recovery. Great field position for the Texans, but ensuing drive. Woody Marks can't hold on to it. There were 8 combined turnovers in this game. Rookie Craig Woodson falls on this one. Neither offense could do anything. I mean, you got both head coaches who were linebackers. What do you expect? It's 21-16 after 3. But the fourth quarter, here's the play of the day. Maye, I found you, Mr. Booty. Kayshon Boutte, an insane catch with one hand. He had a game-high 75 receiving yards. Pats are up 28-16. I don't know how he pulled it in or held on to it with the snowflakes falling in his eyes, but that was more than the defense would need as they put it away. Khyiris Tonga pulls down C.J. Stroud, one of 3 sacks for the defense on the day. Houston decides to punt here, only had 1 timeout left, down 2 scores. New England was happy to play the clock game. With a minute left, Houston still got to score twice, and in fact, down 12, needs to get to the end zone twice. 4th down, Stroud just 20 of 47. That is not one of the 20. Incomplete pass. Patriots win, and Mike Vrabel thrilled to have a work trip next week to Denver.
Okay, I can't wait to tell people I get to coach the Patriots. Okay, I get to coach you guys. Okay, on Sundays. It's an honor and a privilege to watch you go out there and compete. We knew it wasn't going to be easy. I appreciate each and every one of you. Okay, we needed to play. Booty went downtown. Booty.
Yeah, I think not satisfied means we're back on the road. Back on the road in the AFC Championship game. I mean, that kind of speaks for itself. So I'm just trying to, enjoy these playoff wins. I think in the regular season, when you come up with wins, you feel like you can play better. You kind of have this, down mentality, and just know that we made enough plays tonight. And obviously, I wish I had some plays back, but that's part of it. That's part of playing good teams in the playoffs. And proud of these guys for how we played. Keeps on being a defense picking us up when we need to, and
I think we're one of those teams that play better with a chip on our shoulder when everybody kind of counted us out. I think it was a handful of commentators and people, the little tidbits that I do see, because I try not to see it too much, they all pick Houston to win. I mean, for a good reason, and that's a good football team, and I understand their vantage point. All we can do is come in and work hard during the week and put ourselves in the best position to win the game.
So a few offensive voices there getting the post-game platform, but this was the best showing by a Patriot defense. I don't know, Battle of Sullivan's Island? These Patriots forced 5 Texans turnovers Sunday, the most takeaways for New England in the playoffs since the 0-3 AFC title game against Indy, which also had snow. Meanwhile, for Houston, heartbreak.
I just feel like I let people down, and I'm, not happy with that, and it hurts, and I'm not, naive to it. I didn't play my best this year, but I'm gonna, respond. I'm gonna, keep my chest up, my chin up high, and I'm gonna just keep battling for it. I try my best to forget successes and failures, regardless of, what it is in that specific season. I'm gonna learn from this, and I'm gonna move on. I'll be better, and I'm gonna be back.
No, CJ's our guy. I believe that he could come back out in the second half and flip it. I believe that he could play better. And he did that in the second half. He did play better. We had some positive drives. CJ has done a lot of great things throughout this entire year. I know CJ. I got your back. And that's what I told him at halftime. This whole team has your back. We're in this thing together. It's not a magical elixir that's going to happen to get past a divisional round. It's still football. And you got to go out and you got to execute football really well in these moments, and we have not done that.
As promised, Tim Hasselbeck hasn't gone anywhere. Tim, not every pick falls on the quarterback.
Sure.
But C.J. Stroud had 4 before halftime.
Yeah.
You played this position. How much of those 4 picks are on Stroud, and how much is just forced errors by the Patriots defense?
Yeah, here's what I would say about it. That Peyton Manning quote, every interception has its own story, and that's definitely the case. Look, I think it's fair to say the environments, the elements were tough. The defense was tough. New England up front is really good. You're going to see, how the pocket throughout the night just was getting collapsed. So that's tough sledding for any quarterback. This is 2 consecutive plays, on the same drive that we're going to see the pocket just shrink on the quarterback. And so that's tough sledding for anybody. And then you throw in the elements. That's a problem. Then I think there are other things. So, and this is a good example of some of it's the defense. It's getting man coverage. The inside linebacker is going to have a new number 3 because Harrison Bryant is going to slice across the formation. But Milton Williams drives the left tackle back into the backfield, knocks off the slicer, and then when that happens, Chason, who really would have to be worrying about trying to spill or wrong arm that, now he can get up the field and he's in the face of C.J. Stroud. Well, now at this point, okay, so that's the defense. They did that. Now, what's the quarterback's job? Well, the quarterback's job is not to make a bad situation worse, which is exactly what happened. So, Phil, it's a long way for me to say, look, it was all 3 things for C.J. Stroud, which is why it was, such a mess throughout the game. And quite frankly, there really were very few bright spots, like first or second half. A few in the second half, but for the most part, it was uphill sledding the entire game.
And all your examples there showed Stroud under pressure. When he was pressured, 3 for 15 for 30 yards and 2 picks, including the pick 6.
No question. Look, on the other side of this, though, Drake Maye largely unbothered by both the weather and the Texas defense. What did you see from a positive standpoint from the young man?
It's interesting. You can just hear the tone of him talking after the game. Feels like he could have played better. Did a lot of good things. We're going to look at his first touchdown pass. They motioned pre-snap to give you a good look. You saw Drake Maye right there. He had his hand out. He's saying, look, here's how we're going to block this. He actually made a Linda call. You could hear it on the broadcast. We're going to slide the offensive line left. So these 5, the offensive linemen, it's a 5-man protection, have those 5. That's what we got. So if you have any second.
At the end, the night belonged to the Patriots defense. There were 5 critical forced turnovers, constant defensive pressure, and historic plays that completely changed the entire course of the game. Even with several offensive mistakes and many tense moments, New England did just enough to move forward and secure their hard-earned spot in the AFC final, keeping alive the narrative of an underestimated team that truly rose to the occasion in the playoffs. For Houston, there is a valuable lesson learned today and a firm promise of a strong comeback in the near future. For the Patriots, the road continues now, heading to Denver with confidence, resilience, and the certainty that, in the cold and snow, they really don't lose.